Hello, my friends. Assalamu alaikum. I am Abdul Ghafur Iman and I am a pious Muslim and a father. I have a daughter. She is no more with me after the uh, birth of 2 months later of her birth. She left me. She left for the eternity. But every day I miss her. Every moment I miss her. And still I am waiting to meet her. Still I am waiting for the time when we will be together. I will meet her in the afterlife. And another thing is I'm an English teacher. I teach English. Hundreds of students. I have been teaching for almost 17 years. More importantly, I am a student of the Holy Quran. In the morning, I study Holy Quran. I read Holy Quran not only in Arabic but also English. I want to record this video so that I can study Holy Quran whenever the Holy Quran paper version is not with me, so that I can enter my YouTube video anytime and I can teach myself, remind myself the things I studied before. So that is the purpose I'm studying the Holy Quran. Here in this verse, when Moses said to his people, "O people, remember the blessing of Allah upon you, when He made prophets from among you, and made you kings, and gave you what He did not give to anyone in the world. O my people, enter the Holy Land. O my people, enter the Holy Land, which Allah has destined for you. Do not turn back, for then you will turn loser." They said, "O Musa, this is a nation of tyrants over there. We should never go in there until they get out of it. If they do get out of it, we are ready to go." If they do not get out of it, we are ready. If they get out of it, we are ready to go in. Said two men from among the God-fearing, on whom Allah has bestowed His favor, enter the gate, charging upon them. Once they have entered, you are wants to overcome. Again, I'm reading this line. I find this line is very important, meaningful. Once you have entered it, you're the ones to overcome. In Allah, you must place your trust. And if you are believers, again this line I'm reading. In Allah, you must place your trust. If you are believers. They said, "O Musa, we shall never enter it in any case as long as they are there. So go, you and your Lord, and fight. As for us, we are sitting right here." He said, "O my Lord, I have no control except over myself and my brother. So make separation between us and the sinning people." My friend, do you get it, the line? Here I am reciting it. We have no control except over myself and my brother. So make a separation between us and the sinning people. He said, Allah said, this land is prohibited to them for 40 years. This land is prohibited to them for 40 years. They shall be wandering around the earth. So don't grieve for the sinning people. Allah said again, I am reciting this line. This Surah Maida, and it's verse number 22-26. Here commentary I am now going to read. In the previous verse recited above, the place was mentioned in which Bani Israel were bound to obey Allah and His Messenger. Mentioned along with it was their customary breach of trust, its punishment. Taken up in the verses appearing above, there is a particular event which shows such breach. That event goes back to the time when Pharaoh and his army were drawn in the sea. Sayyidina Musa and his people, the Bani Israel, once delivered from the slavery of Pharaoh, became the master of Egypt. Then to bless them with his added reward, and let them repossess their ancestral land of Syria, Allah Ta'ala commanded them through Sayyidina Musa that they should enter the Holy Land, this is Syria, with the intention of jihad, and along with they were given good news that victory will be all theirs in the jihad, as Allah had made that Holy Land their destiny. They were bound to have it. But Bani Israel had their peculiar traits of character. They saw the blessing of Allah with their own eyes, and they saw the spectacle of the drowning of Pharaoh and the conquest of Egypt. Yet they failed once again to stand up by solemn pledges they had given and elected to sit out the jihad of Syria squarely against this divine command. So here one word is solemn. This word particularly you should know the pronunciation. It is solemn. Can you hear solemn? In America it is pronounced solemn. In British, solemn. Solemn means serious or without any humor. Very serious or without any humor. The solemn pledges means very serious pledges. Another word I want to make you hear pronunciation is pledges. Pledge. In singular British pronounces pledge. Pledge means serious or formal promise. Serious promise. So they made promise to Allah. That promise were very serious. Now they should stand by, fulfill their promise, but they failed. So in the commentary it is said, it is the habit of Bani Israel. They saw the power of Allah many times, miracle of Allah many times, like in the event of drowning of Pharaoh and conquest of Egypt, but now they are failing to place the trust in Allah again. This is their weakness, this is their weak habit. And as a human being, we are also face this kind of situation in other forms or any form in our life. Sometimes it becomes very difficult. So Allah, I pray Allah please bless us all with the strength so that we can place trust in your honor. Here in this slide, the punishment they received for it was in the forms of 40 years confinement to the limited areas where, strangely enough, there were no walls or fences around them, nor were they in chains. Instead, they were free to move in open area, actually travel every day, right from the morning through the evening, with the intention of returning to Egypt, their homeland. But when came the evening, they would find themselves exactly at the spot from where they started in the morning. During this period, Sayyidina Musa and Sayyidina Harun left this mortal world, and these people kept wandering in the wilderness of Tih. It was after that Allah Ta'ala sent other prophets for their guidance. Thus, after the passage of the 40 years, those who survived from among them resolved to take up jihad of Syria, Baitul Maqdis, under the leadership of the Prophet of their time. The promise of Allah that the Holy Land had been destined for them was thus fulfilled. This is the summary of the event refers to in the verse cited above. Let us see the details in the verse of Holy Quran. When Sayyidina Musa received the instruction to call his people to jihad in order to conquer Baitul Maqdis and Syria, he acted very much in accordance with his prophetic wisdom, so crucial in giving the good counsel. Therefore, before announcing the divine commands to his people, he reminded them of the many blessings bestowed upon them upon the time. Yes, bestow. This is one word bestow. Bestow means to give something as honor or present. Bestow means to give something as an honor or present. Here you can hear the pronunciation again. Bestow. I just practiced British pronunciation. Now it is American pronunciation. Bestow. Here, now he said, "O my people, remember the blessing of Allah upon you when He made prophets from among you, made you kings, and gave you what He did not give to anyone in the world." Recounted here are the three blessings. The first of this is a spiritual blessing, that is, many prophets were sent to them continuously. A spiritual honor which can hardly be masked. It has been reported in the Tafsir Mazari that no other community has had such a large number of prophets as compared to Bani Israel. The Hadith authority Ibn Abi Hatim reports on the basis of narration from Ammash that in only one single period, last period of people of Bani Israel, which stands from Sayyidina Musa to the second, to Sayyidina Isa, 1000 prophets were sent to Bani Israel. The second blessing mentioned in the verse quoted immediately above is the material blessing, that is, they were made master and wielders of power. The hint given here is the people of Bani Israel who are the oppressed slaves of Pharaoh, his people for many ages. So how Allah Ta'ala destroyed their enemies and how they themselves were made masters and kings. Noteworthy here is the statement about prophets, where it was said, He made prophets from among you, which carries the sense that the whole people were not prophets. And this is true, as the prophets are only a few, while large body of people follows them. But when it comes to the subject of temporal people of countries and state, said there was made you kings. The outward sense of which is that they all were made kings. Arabic word muluk used in the text is plural malik, which means a king in common usage. Obviously, when a whole people cannot be prophets, no people of a country can be all kings. What happens is that the authority in a country rests in a hand of an individual or some individual, while rest of the people are subordinate to them. But here the words of the Quran are attributing the kingship to all of them. One reason for this is what has been stated by Maulana Ashraf Ali Tanavi. It refers to some righteous elders of Tafsir Banyan al-Quran, that is, sovereignty of the king of a country which is customarily distributed to entire people. For example, during the middle centuries of Islam, government was called as that of Umayyads, Abbasids. Similarly, the rule of Ghaznabis or Gauris, then that of Mughals. After that, the rule of British in India was attributed to all individuals of entire people of that country. Therefore, a whole people having a ruler was known by proxy to be rulers of that country. So I'm almost about to leave reading for today, and I want to say big thank you Allah for blessing me this habit to recite your Holy Quran and study Holy Quran in the morning. So thank you Allah and Alhamdulillah.